what's happening, everybody? It's Ike from Flipside Music, and welcome to What the F.A.Q, episode 42.
43.
3, season 3.
Yep.
Closing in on the final. What are we going to do for the... Oh, by the way, I'm here with...
Dylan. Yeah.
What are we going to do for the season finale of season 3?
Maybe that's when we do our... Maybe that's when we throw in our... Well, at least part of it.
A cliffhanger?
Well, yeah, we do that, but we could throw in... We had talked about doing a list for the shopping season. So.
Oh yeah, we should do that separate though.
Yeah, that's true.
We should do that separate, like really cool gifts under $25, or maybe cool gifts between $25 and $50. We got to work on.
I think we just do the tiers like we kind of talked about. Do 25, 50, 75, 100 kind of a thing.
I think we still need it with a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Build some suspense.
Yeah. So you guys come back next
season.
Week.
Yeah.
Season.
The next week.
The next week after that. Okay, so quick. This is going to be that one.
Yeah, it's alright. Yeah, I'm feeling tongue tied today too.
I think it's all the MSG we just had in the Chinese food.
Yeah,
could
hopped up on MSG.
We're all hopped up on MSG. So
monosodium glutamate.
Oh, it tastes so good though. MSG. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah, weekly question and answer show. You ask a question, we got an answer for you. And we are here in the new space, obviously, as you can tell, because it looks boring as shit. We have had the discussion that we've gone too many episodes now with absolutely nothing going on behind us. So maybe don't bet on it.
Well,
we're going to try to change it up a little bit, put something on here next week.
Okay, because I was going to say, we can't quite go that way unless we get like a lint roller.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll let roll it. But I couldn't believe that one of the episodes, there was something that must have been from lunch, on my pant leg, and it was bothering me the whole edit. The whole edit, I was just like, I couldn't believe that the camera was actually picking that up. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna try to fix it. We're not fixing anything. We're trying to adjust it so it's not
right.
It's just not this janky ass.
Right. Well, right now it's blank because we're still in the canvas.
Yeah, we're still getting things going here.
Yeah. So. I didn't print the questions, so I'll just be reading them from my phone this week. We'll start with JJ's House of Jams.
JJ's House of Jams.
Says he just scored an Earthquaker Acapulco Gold, and he's running it he's running it with a rat in front. So I'm assuming the rat is going, which is 3 rats pretty much. Because basically the Acapulco, for those of you that don't know, they basically pulled the distortion section out of the bit commander, which was also roughly based on a similar op amp as what the rat uses. So anyway, it's kind of a fun one to get that power amp distortion. But
and putting the rat into the
Acapulco,
I think the Acapulco is thicker.
Yeah, it's a little more
fatter,
open
where
too.
I think the rat will add nicely to it.
So he says it's pure doom, and then he's asking what our thoughts are on the Acapulco Gold itself. Honestly,
solid one knob.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's always been kind of a house favorite for sure. I had
like
that. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I like the idea of putting a rat in front of it.
I do like that.
The sounds of that. So.
Honestly, anything I ever stacked with the Acapulco usually was good. It handled other fuzzes well. It handled overdrives really. Actually, overdrives were fun with it because it would tighten it up a little bit and it would give it just a little bit more focus, so you could kind of get more of that Caius kind of Fu Manchu sound out of it rather than just the full just.
What about treble booster?
The Naga always sounded good.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be a good combo.
But I had that one on my board for a long time, basically until we did the Demogorgon with Matt. I had that one on my board the whole time, and the Demogorgon to me it ends up hitting a similar spot that I needed it to hit in terms of the fuzzy doomy stuff. But the Demogorgon's just a little bit more flexible, so that was why that one kind of dethroned the Acapulco for me anyway.
All right. So overall,
still a house favorite though.
Yeah.
Anybody that just wants a straight up simple one knob, dirt machine with a shit ton of volume, that one's the one. All right. Let's see. We'll move Coombs because we usually throw him toward kind of in the middle. Colin James says, question for this time: if he wanted to get all of his gain tones from pedals, what would he recommend for a pedal that covers classic rock tones like AC/DC, Thin Lizzy, but getting all of the gain from the pedal, not pushing the amp at all. So basically, the pedal itself is doing all of the distortion.
All the lifting.
Yeah, so in that scenario, you'd have a wide open, very, very clean, high headroom amp. So anything like a high watt or, Bassmans, depending on the Bassman. Yeah, twin reverbs, something along that route.
Even a Sovtech MiG 50.
For that, I mean, to me, like a one-way ticket to Lawrence. Like the LPD stuff.
Yeah, the LPD stuff is going to get you there. I mean, that stuff is very amp.
Especially AC/DC and Thin Lizzy, because like even Jake
74 probably,
right, and that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, the 74 in particular, because that's actually Jake's pick, and Jake normally is not like the Marshall in a box guy. He always went with like actually having a Marshall or something in the Marshall vein, and the LPD 74 is like the only one he's ever actually liked in terms of a Marshall in a box. So to me, like he's the only person I know that's like just knows Marshall's kind of inside and out. So when he says he likes it, then it's even more convincing even to me. But yeah, even the 87, I mean, you could kind of, if you dialed the gain back a little bit, you can kind of still get some of those tones. But I think the 74 is more convincing for like those kind of juiced plexi tones.
Yeah, I think we're out right now, right? We got to get more of those.
We may. Well, yeah, I was gonna say we do need to order
We
one
got
of
to
those
put
all the way around.
Lawrence anyway. So if you want one,
Yeah. Yes.
well, you know where to find us. Actually, Colin's going to get a.
Oh yeah.
He's going to get a Reverend from us too. So
Nice.
He reached out the other day. So.
Oh, that's funny. I was just looking at the questions and Jake already put LPD.
Oh.
So Jake already told. That's funny.
There you go. Yeah, because I was actually thinking about that myself. Because I don't know. I was thinking about the 74 myself. Remember I was telling you?
Yeah.
About
No, I still. For me, like the Rev G4, because I don't use it with like a ton of gain. I actually only leave the gain at like 9 to 10 o'clock. That one does that well enough for me, but it also covers all the way up to modern stuff. So that's where, like, I would definitely have the 74 if I was just going for like the Marshall sound.
Just staying in that ballpark.
Especially like when he mentions AC/DC and Thin Lizzy. I mean, those two are like 2 for 2 Marshalls. So.
Yep.
All right, Quentin James.
Quentin James. If I didn't say, I think I told him. Didn't I say thank you for the picks last week?
You did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thanks for the picks again.
Quentin James is asking, how much time do you put into a new guitar setup work before we hang it on a wall? So how much?
Oh, at the shop?
Yeah. How much setup work do we put into guitars before we put them on the wall? That depends heavily on the company.
Yeah. It depends on the manufacturer.
Yeah.
So basically, the way we run everything is, everything comes in. We usually let it sit for a day, depending on the season. So if it's
because we have wild temperature swings here in Colorado.
Yeah, we got crazy, and we're at elevation, so we have our own issues that we have to deal with out here.
Right.
With just being dry and all that kind of stuff. But what we usually do, if it's spring or fall, moderate temperatures, we'll probably open it up. But usually dead of winter and
dead of summer.
We let it sit for 24 hours to acclimate. Now, I know there's some people on the internets that believe that's a bunch of hooey. We've seen guitars, we've seen it happen.
Yeah, because we literally have 40 to 50 degree temperature swings often, like very, very often in Colorado. So
yeah, it's good to let it acclimate to the temperature because we have seen finish damage because of that.
Yes.
So we definitely do that. When we need to. So we let it sit for 24 hours. Then our tech goes through each one of them to basically make any adjustments, truss rod adjustment, fret ends, polishing of the frets if need be, checking the electronics. We've had some instances where they never hooked up the ground wire.
Yeah, that was always a weird one.
Yeah.
On that one where they just bypassed the tone pot. Like they put it in there, but they just bypassed it, which was weird.
So right from the manufacturer. So we go through each guitar to make sure it's set up and right and it plays well. Intonation, obviously, all that stuff. But also physically, just to make sure that something didn't happen in shipping, or if they sent us something that wasn't
the
done.
Friday evening special.
Yeah, the Monday morning or Friday afternoon guitar.
Yeah,
we had a recent sale where a customer purchased the guitar. He's probably going to be watching.
Oh, yes.
And on the way out, because we also do and inspect it on the way out. So we make sure that it's got a setup before it leaves the shop too. But as we were inspecting it, well, somehow we missed it on the way in. But on the way out, we caught it and it had a little bit of an extra buff mark or something.
Then I was going to say, and that was easy enough because like I didn't catch it until I was packing it up and I saw it in a certain light.
Yeah.
And then I could see it because like that's the thing like with maple sometimes is like it's so uniform that like until you get in a certain light you don't see like a weird kind of blemish.
So basically what we do is we make sure we put, whatever time it takes to put in to that to make it play right. Is what we put into it. Now, I know a lot of, well, I don't know for sure, but I've heard that, some companies only pay attention to the higher end stuff. We don't necessarily do that. Even the Squier Affinities, Squier Bullet, the lower end Yamaha electrics that we have in stock, everything goes through that process. So everything goes out on the floor and plays well. And then what we do is as the guitars are at the shop, if they need any adjustment because of fret sprout, which could happen, even though we have 3 humidifiers in the place, we still will go through again and just make sure everything is tightened up. So everything.
Yeah, just in case.
It's amazing how many times we get people like, "Wow, this thing plays great." It's like, yeah, we're trying to sell it.
Well, and that further proves that other places don't do a lot of that because we do get a lot of guys that come in and they're genuinely surprised that we actually. Tried to tune the guitars and set them up and the whole thing. All right. Next, actually, it looks like Quentin had 2 questions, so may as well do the next one. His other question is thoughts on the future of the NAMM show. Do you think its time is over? So, yeah, is the NAMM... it's actually kind of funny. I was having this discussion with a customer the other day, and part of me feels like I might be wrong. Well, actually... Generally, whenever I think a company should do things, they don't do it. But I think they should honestly move away from... I think Summer NAMM should maybe become more of the
YouTube wanker.
Well, that or more of the... I was actually thinking more of the dealer to company. Because like we deal with the companies all the time. The customers really don't. So it's like for Winter NAMM, if they're going to continue to do it in Anaheim, I think that would honestly be better served as just like a fan event. Like, let the companies interact with the fans of the products. And, like, I think it could go that route. Because, like, I think they're going to be hurting for the next few years to get people to even show up. So if like, all the fans are open to do that now, I think more people would be a little more inclined to give it a shot rather than just dealing with the dealers. Because for the longest time, it was just an industry thing. So
yeah, and I somewhat agree with what you're saying.
Well, I feel like because they're gonna lose, they're gonna be hurting for a stretch, I imagine. So like, if they're gonna do anything to try to save it, I think that's the
maybe what I would like to see them do is that maybe one of the events is more for the YouTube crowd. Like this is all the content creation crowd because as somebody that buys a lot of shit, sometimes it's like aggravating that some YouTube guy that nobody's ever heard of because there's a bajillion YouTubers now compared to the old days when there's only a few guys really kind of covering stuff. Now everybody and their brother's a YouTuber. Right. And what happens is like we were sitting there looking at a guitar from a company that we thought, well, maybe we should inquire about bringing this brand in. And the guy asks us to move out of the way so he can get his shot for his YouTube thing. And we're like, fuck you, we're writing the check. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're writing the checks. So that aggravates a little bit. Yeah. I get it. YouTube guys got to do their thing, and that's part of what they do. Well, and it's good for the industry. Don't get me wrong. I'm not shitting on the YouTube guys. But I think for someone like us, we would like to have an event that's really more geared towards what are the new products, what's the business side, what can we do, and how do we work that, and then have another event that's more for the content creation and more of an event that's more of a
that's kind of what I mean of
new
like
cool shit thing.
Well, that's kind of what I mean of like,
but limited access to the public.
Right. But okay. See, I was gonna go the other way and say they may as well like because the fans are gonna be the people that know the YouTube guys anyway. Like, just let all of them have their own like a convention almost. And then
there's also the exclusivity to it that does make it kind of a thing, like because not everybody gets to go. I mean.
Yeah, but I'm saying like let the dealer one be that one.
Yeah, but I don't know if it would still work because then there's still one that they could all go to. So I don't know if it worked. I don't know.
Yeah.
But to go, my thought on the original question is, I don't know if we're going to see it at the same strength that it was before. And here's my idea or my thoughts why, is that with the pandemic and with this cancellation and with all this stuff, everybody had to pivot to do something different. So a lot of people were doing their own events. They were doing a smaller event, or they're doing an online event.
Or even in the case of like Strymon, where they realized they could get more attention releasing it on their own, aside from all of that.
And that's where I'm thinking is that the future may go that way, that companies are like, we don't really need you, NAMM. It's not really that necessary because we know how to do this without you and without that price tag that we've got to pay every year to show up to basically, hey, look at us.
Well, no, it is. It's kind of like a big peacock kind of contest where
yeah.
everybody gets there and they're showing off all their shit, and that is the thing. And it's like, it is cool, but at the same time, like like you said, a lot of it is pivoting more towards the YouTube crowd. So maybe just let that become its own thing. And again, like the dealers, I do think should get more of an exclusive. Like if that's going to be a thing at all, then I think the dealers should be the ones that get more of an exclusive. Like,
yeah, 'cause we're actually buying the products to have to sell the products.
Right.
So we would like to have that time there too, that it's not just this squunch fest all the time, running around, getting bumped into by people running around with their
cameras and
with their selfie sticks and all the other shit. Not saying that there's not a space for that. It's just sometimes when you're trying to do a deal that's got a lot of zeros on it,
right?
You kind of want to, have a little bit of exclusivity to it. So either that or just bring it all the way back to it's just dealers. Or anyway, I think it's going to change because people don't need. There's companies that just don't need it. Yeah. They don't need to go to the NAMM show. They could do their own event.
Well, then they feel like they have their own. They have their own communication lines with customers directly now, which didn't used to exist back when NAMM was first conceived.
Right. Because people have YouTube channels and all that stuff. There's more direct access. But I also think that maybe we might see a little bit more activity in the smaller regional shows.
Oh yeah, no, and that would actually be kind of
because it's
cool,
more cost effective, and it's definitely getting more to customers in regions, and maybe companies might want to get into that region. Like, hey, we don't really sell a lot of our guitars in the South.
Right.
Well, maybe if we do a Southern guitar show, there's a way to have that interaction or something to that effect.
That would be also a good way for like smaller brands to have more of a showcase too. So like the people that are into the more boutique stuff in their region can kind of, because a lot of our customers like to go out of their way to find stuff that is made here. So I mean, even the Texas Toast guys know that too, just as much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think that would be regional guitar shows. I think, or regional conventions would be a pretty sweet thing to have. Let's see. I guess the last question is Ben.
Hey, so Big John mentioned something on a comment about one of the things we commented on last week, which I think was underneath the heading of annoying customer things.
Yeah, he said he felt bad for asking us to put some specific strings on his order, and like that's not a big thing at all.
Yeah, that's not a thing. Yeah. So don't worry about that, man.
Yeah, that's not annoying.
That's not an annoying thing. That's just good customer service. And that's not a
perfectly reasonable, understandable request. Like, it's when we get the people that have some unreasonable requests, that's when it gets annoying. But changing strings for an order, that's not a big deal in the slightest. All right, it looks like Ben is the last one, so this might be a little bit of a shorter episode this week. Ben Coombs, our preferred Canadian YouTuber, he asks, he said, great episode for last week. Question for this week is, should pedals come with rubber feet attached, or should they just be included separately? I don't know. I probably have funny, weird love for rubber feet just because I don't like all of our pedals getting scuffed up in the shelf, or on the shelf. So I actually like the rubber feet when they come on the pedals because it keeps our stock from getting dinged up. Other than that, though, I have no use for them. So no.
Yeah, I go the other way, and I think it's good to just put the.
I agree. Put them in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't put them on, but put them in there. Yeah.
Put them in the box, but don't put them on. because I think there's just a lot
People
of
are
folks
just going to
that are,
Velcro them anyway.
they're going to put Velcro on it anyway. So why do I got to remove the damn feet to put it on there?
One thing actually for rubber feet that I really do love too, and I used to do it, any pedals that you have that are all completely flat, you guys might not realize, but like a lot of pedals are slightly angled. And so sometimes it's actually kind of nice if you have pedals that like for whatever reason kind of rock back and forth. I would put the rubber feet like on the sides in between the pedals so that they would have almost like their own little bumpers.
Oh,
And that always kept it pretty nice because like even if you step on it and it does pivot, it's not gonna like it's not just rubbing and grinding on another pedal. Yeah.
So that's also why I like the dual lock.
Yes.
Dual lock lets it sit.
Well, it
pretty much
does.
more
It's just
stable.
it does for sure. There's just certain pedals that for whatever reason, like when you step on them, like they pivot just a little bit, and it's like it's kind of nice if that rubber's there, it literally can't go anywhere.
So always make sure
Use your rubbers.
use your rubbers.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it this week.
That's it.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
We had some
Fewer
good
questions
though.
Yeah.
I think we covered some good ground.
Yeah. What do you think, Ziggy? You have any questions?
I think he's like, no, I got it covered. I'm on patrol. All right, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving if you're still here.
Yes.
And whatever holiday's coming up that you celebrate, I hope that's good. And
Yeah,
I'm sure
I think,
we'll talk to you guys before that. If you guys are not signed up for our email list, go to the website and sign up. We just sent out a big blast on Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
And I was gonna
It's
say,
pretty
too-
good, but do it.
We've had so many people that were worried that they weren't like a part of the mailing list until now because we just sent the first email. Don't worry, that was literally the first email.
That we've sent
Yes.
in a considerable amount of time.
Yeah, so don't worry if you felt like, oh shit, you've been missing out this whole time. You haven't been.
You
That's
haven't. We
literally
just-
the first one in like ages. So we're gonna try to get a better format for that too, like you were talking about doing like more of a Friday update kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if you guys do want any of that, definitely
So-
subscribe.
If you guys are still here, if anybody is still here, throw that a comment in the section, comment section. Throw a comment in the comment section in regards to an email thing. What I'm thinking about doing is just doing one every Friday. That's it. One email, you get one email a week because I think that's not super annoying.
It's not too many and it's not too little. Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I unsubscribe from companies that just it's too many all the time. So we're thinking about just doing basically a newsletter on Friday, but it's going to cover a number of things. We might have an informational piece. There might be a promo code. We might have some used gear specials that we're doing. So let me, if you're still here.
Yeah, if you want another way to.
Anybody out there?
But yeah, if you want to keep at least one other avenue for staying up to date with stuff that's not this necessarily, if you guys want more like product updates, that's going to be a good way to get them.
Yeah, we'll probably throw one of these in there too.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, I think all the
Newtown.
way, all the way around, it's going to be a good way to stay in touch with, or at least stay up to date. But I think if you're also more interested in the products, that's going to be a good landing spot for that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so let us know what you think should be in there or shouldn't be in there. I just don't want to send out a bunch of stuff all the time because I think it gets annoying.
Yeah, we don't want to annoy people.
We're not begging for your sales. We don't want to have that.
No, we actually want it to be useful, like something you guys actually want, not something that you just go, more shit for you to delete.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, well, appreciate you guys hanging out, and we'll catch you on the flip side.